Alright, so we are going to create this effect in Blender. So let's get started, and I'm going to add a new geometry node modifier straight away. Remove this node from here, and let's just add in a grid and just put this grid straight into the geometry node output. And what I want is, like, if I go into wireframe view, I can see this. I have these 1 by 1 meter type of 3 vertices. So I'm going to like simply increase this, maybe increase this, maybe increase this one, and then I can play with the size. To make this more even kind of a rectangular grid inside which of square tiles are arranged. So if I view it from the top, you can have this kind of arrangement. And then let's come out of the wireframe. Now what I want is like I want to separate these edges. So I will like add here split edge node. So what this split edge node doing, it's basically just this modifier. We have a modifier here which is edge split. It's doing the same thing. It's splitting the mesh from the edges. Let's add in a scale elements node, and then if I scale this down, then I can see this. I am having this kind of stuff going on. I want these corners to be like beveled, like chamfered up. So to do that, I can use a node which is called the fillet curve, but at the moment this is nothing but a mesh. So I need to convert this mesh into a curve first. So I will search for a mesh to curve node. We are having this thing where because all of the faces are gone, and now what I have is here called the fillet curve node, and I will check this to poly, and I will check this limit radius so that it doesn't creating this awkward kind of. So if I play with the radius, you can see that we have this perfect kind of chamfering going on. And maybe if I increase the count, keep on increasing the count, this will resemble the shape of a circle. So I don't want these many kind of steps. Maybe I just want a bevel, a chamfered bevel, single segment bevel. And what I want is now I need to convert this back into a mesh. So I will just search for a fill curve node. So this will automatically convert this mesh into this curve into a mesh. So I will check this to icon. I can play with these. Probably I can play with these. I want to have some thickness over this. So I will use extrude mesh node, just plug in here. Maybe not this much of extrusion, so I will just decrease the extrusion up to here. And at the moment you can see that this base, there is nothing inside at the bottom of this, but I don't want this. So basically what I will do, I will just combine these two nodes with a join geometry. Let's apply this modifier up here. And if I go into edit mode, and if I go into face mode and I click this, you can see that this face is separate from this, and what I want these to be joined. This whole thing must be one. This whole selected thing must be one single mesh. So to do that, what I want to do here is typically I will use a merge by distance node. So this will particularly take care of this. And if I now apply this modifier and I go into edit mode, press L, you can see that this whole thing is getting selected. So this is what I want. So this is the advantage of merge by distance node. Now I want these thing to be like moving maybe up and down, kind of a visualizer effect. Use noise texture node, and if I plug this into this offset, you can see that I am having this kind of stuff. Let's check this 4D. I want this offset to be like only on the Z axis. So in order to do that, I will just separate XYZ node followed by a combine XYZ node, and then select only the Z component. If I do this now, you can see that this thing is getting affected. I want this to be controlled by the scene time. So let's go here, select seconds, and play the animation. You can see that it's quickly changing, but I want to be like this animation to be slowed down. So let's add in a math node here and check this to divide. Maybe divide this by 10 times. Now I have more subtle animation going on here, and let's check this frames to 30 for a more smoother animation. Yeah, I think this is looking good. And probably I can increase the offset of this. This offset I can just use math node. Maybe I just check this to multiply and multiply this by 1.5. So I have this more enhanced effect going on, maybe like this. Yes. And what I can do is now is like I can increase these values here like this, and then I can like assign this material. So let's have a set material node here. Let's go into the material tab and let's select this to material. Let's maybe change the base color. Let's go into this view. So I have this kind of thing going on here. Maybe you can go into render mode and like play with the light settings and all around here. yeah, you can play with these settings. This is render stuff. And one more good thing about this is that you can just let's go into geometry nodes, and you can change this fillet curve settings to have control the shape of this bar. So you can see if I increase the count here, you can have this kind of thing going on, and I can do this customizations here, change the shape of this. Maybe I can use a set shade smooth node, and or maybe I can use is in Blender 4.1 we have this normal section smooth by angle node, and ignore the sharpness, and you can have this kind of thing going on. So this is kind of a simple graphics, any motion graphic, simple beginner motion graphic you can begin with to kick start with geometry nodes, and maybe you can add more of the complexities in this, and maybe taking a instance on point node and maybe increasing the complexity of this simulation, and maybe play with the shaders more, maybe add an object info node, and based on the location or based on the color, maybe just maybe multiply something with that or add something to someone. So this you can play this with the like frame value. Maybe let's check this to, let us say, hashtag frame by 20. So this will be changing colors. This is just a simple customization, or maybe you can add more advanced things. So hopefully you might have liked the video. Consider subscribing, and this was just a video to get you kick started in geometry nodes, which seems very complex to some people, but it really isn't. It's actually more friendly to you in terms of it's kind of a scripting only you are doing visually. Consider subscribing, guys. Like this video, share, comment. Bye bye for now.